Hello, Internet. This is BoneCarlos coming to you live with AuirForceOne from Whirlwind Ladder Edition to bring you another StarCraft 2 shoutcast commentary kind of thing. How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm doing great.
All right, the players today are going to be SCBGC. AuirForceOne spawning as the red Protoss. His opponent is just going to be Leia spawning as the blue version of the same race. Both these players I do believe are Masters level players, so expect some high level play out of both of these guys. What do you want out of this matchup, Nov17?
I want a golden bikini.
Right. Yeah,
I want a Mothership Core versus Mothership Core battle. I feel like that would be really exciting.
Right.
And better yet, I want to see a bunch of zealots.
A bunch of zealots, and you know what? All three of those statements I cannot argue against, because every single one of those would be awesome. Leia in a golden bikini is just great, and I actually saw some behind-the-scenes shots of Carrie Fisher in that golden bikini, and my oh my, it's sad to say that the movies didn't do her justice, unfortunately. Whatever.
I think you need to link me that after.
I will definitely will do so. And a Mothership versus Mothership battle, seeing as neither of them can shoot up, if that happens in this game, fantastic. And a bunch of zealots. Who does not like a bunch of zealots? And speaking of the build order out of both these players, it seems like they are both going over against the exact same thing. The only divergence that I can see is the fact that Leia decided to scout and AuirForceOne decided not to, since we currently have the same amount of harvesters, except that Leia is deciding to scout while AuirForce isn't. Double assimilator out of both of them at precisely around the same time. Looks like Cybernetic Core going down for AuirForceOne a little bit earlier than Leia. And tell us a little bit about this map.
Well, Whirlwind, if you'll notice, it is a 4-player map, so it takes a pretty long while to scout. You got your natural, fairly easy to defend with a ramp. I'm kind of a fan of ramp-based naturals anyways. I don't know, it kind of just pays homage to one of my old favorite ladder maps, Shakur's Plateau. The third base, which you have a couple of options on that, can be a little bit tricky depending. I mean, you can do some warp prism pressure over here with this far over ledge to the main. You know, they're a little bit spread out. So on this map, say for example in a PVT, Terrans would try to do a multi-drop or abuse that, or Zerg would try to do run-bys, you know, at multiple locations. But PvP here, we'll just have to wait and see how the map train is abused or just rather used.
And right now we actually see AuirForceOne putting down a Stargate, while at the same time it looks like Leia is just doing something a little bit more defensively by putting up just a single sentry while getting a Stargate of her own. And I say her just because they decided to pick the name Leia. Unfortunately, AuirForceOne does scout that, so he knows exactly what's going on in his opponent's base, sees a Stargate, knows when it was put down, knows when it will be finished, because he put down one of his own. So we might see an air versus air battle, already an oracle being put down by AuirForceOne, while Leia is going down with a Twilight Council. Holy.
Yep, he went ahead and stopped that Stargate.
Yeah, he canceled it, yeah.
Because I was kind of wondering, why would you start building a hidden piece of tech in a fairly obvious area that's in the scouting route of the probe?
No, very true.
So I think that was pure mind games.
And hopefully it pays off for Leia, since they're going to have an oracle, at least one oracle in their base, backed up by 3 gates in approximately a minute and a half. Blink underway for Leia. So, wow, did Leia actually scout off that Stargate? No.
Nope. In fact, but this will be a pretty good way to do things here, except for the fact that he's really going to want to get some anti-air before the Mothership Core gets back. I would say you be spamming that Purifier Cannon and just hope for the best.
And right now the Oracle gets into that Pearl Got 2 kills to its name. Stalkers and Sentry there for defense. That Oracle might die, but at 4 kills, 5 kills, I do believe it has already paid off for itself. Blink about 50% done. Once that's done, I would say that air harass will pretty much be locked down by Leia. Stalkers with blink is great up against anti-air, as any fan of Protoss versus Zerg should know, and especially, well, even sometimes versus Terran, especially with blink blocking those drops. How do you feel as a Terran player? How do you feel when a Protoss player finally has blink to counter those drops?
It definitely makes it a lot tougher because it increases the risk of, oh, I can't just boost away. Well, yeah, you still can, but the stalkers can blink up and kind of pick off those extras, or, you know, just make drops a lot less safe.
And right now, blink is just about to finish up in a few seconds. Already 4 stalkers are going to cross the map, along with a single oracle and a zealot, or actually I would say sentry and a zealot. A mothership core there for backup. And with the fact that AuirForceOne decided to put down those 400 minerals for that Nexus, this Nexus actually might be in a world of hurt, since all that AuirForce has is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stalkers. Well, and it also has 4 phoenixes as backup. Oh, and here comes the attack. They're going to start pummeling that Nexus. The Nexus is canceled. 100 minerals lost. No big deal whatsoever as of yet. But now AuirForceOne is a bit pigeonholed. It has a Stargate. It has 3 warp gates. Now it has to use these phoenixes for offense. And while Leia is at the front of his base, just knocking at it, poking around, seeing what's there. And oh, pure stalkers versus Phoenix harass. This is going to be an interesting game.
Yep, and he's got that guardianship. Well, he will if he moves in.
Well, I mean, he just put down that photonic overcharge on his Nexus, so he's not going to attack just yet. I mean, you never want to attack into that, no matter what sort of forces you have, especially early game.
Very true. Got a lot of stalkers up here, though.
Yeah, he does. I mean, especially with that blink. Yeah, with a little bit of micro, he might be able to manage a sort of win, but once these Phoenixes get into it, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phoenixes there, each of them pulling up. That pretty much almost cuts those stalker forces in half. Blink hasn't been revealed just yet, but another 4th gateway just finished up for AuirForce. It's going to be a very interesting. Finally, photonic overcharge is finished. Another one is put down. Looks like Leia's just going to go ahead and go for it. No blink used just yet. Here come the Phoenixes. They're going to go ahead and pummel down on that mothership core very, very quickly. Finally, the gravitic beam is being used into effect, lifting up left and right, and oh my, no blink use. Finally, it's being used after half of her stalkers was pummeled. That could be a losing blow.
Yeah, that really took him a long time to initiate that here. I mean, he does have blink now, and it's heavy zealot play, but that those Phoenixes, they pay dividends sometimes. If used correctly, they can be quite a deadly unit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, lifting up a unit, take him out of the fight, especially when there is not that many that you shoot up. I mean, finally, all the zealots have been taken care of. Phoenixes are going to go ahead and retreat, but now a Phoenix zealot force versus a pure stalker army. This is very interesting. Here we go. Looks like those zealots are going to go ahead and be taken down quite easily. Blink is being used. Blink back away from the damage. Zealots are dropping like flies, but not many Phoenixes have been taken out of the fight just yet. And here we go. Leia is going to go ahead and try to push forward a fresh mothership core on the field, about 5 seconds away from another photonic overcharge. And behind this, Leia is just chrono boosting out the warp gates, not deciding to expand whatsoever. He's going to go ahead and push forward. Photonic overcharge is used again. Finally, blink is used into effect, but still, the Phoenixes are there to lift up the stalkers. Void Ray gets taken down almost immediately, yet it did the damage needed to those stalkers with that that prismatic alignment, and a lot of these stalkers have plenty of hull damage. Phoenixes are just pushing forward. Wow, AuirForce might have just won this right here.
Yep, I mean, it's those Phoenixes made all the difference, and just kept delaying with that photonic overcharge. So it's like he's thrown down 3 of those. He was using that new ability to definite good effect.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, Leia 32 health, 32 food versus AuirForce's 60. Phoenixes, and you're right, the Phoenixes were definitely the saving grace in AuirForce's entire army. He delayed, finally had enough to just push back his opponent, and now even with Blink, the tech advantage is definitely in AuirForce's favor, unless he just lets Leia crawl himself back into this game. There is just a single pylon right there in the natural expansion, denying any sort of quick expansion. Here it goes. Void Ray, Phoenix, Mothership Core, Stalker Zealot. Nice little hodgepodge of units. More Zealots are streaming across the map. I don't see a way for Leia to just really stop this.
Yeah, and those Phoenixes have 15 kills apiece, or collectively right now, 15 kills, which is quite a lot, because those are pretty much all Stalkers, and maybe a Mothership Core and a Sentry. So they've definitely cost effective with those, and being able to take 5 units out of battle is pretty
Yeah, definitely. And here it comes. They're going to go ahead and swing on by not using that Gravitic Beam. Now it's finally into effect. Half of Leia's army is lifted up in the air, picked off mercilessly. Game over for those Stalkers. Blink is used into effect, but overwhelming Zealot count is just not enough time bomb being put down on those Stalkers. They can't move around as efficiently. Phoenixes are still lifting up whatever they can. 4 left over, only 1 picked off in that remaining battle. I think AuirForce is just moving his way to victory at the moment. Gateway goes down, and this might be all she wrote. Looking at the income tab, we see Harvest Crown around similar for both players. 28 for AuirForce, 22 for Leia. And in a PvP match, whoever has the Harvest count definitely has the advantage. Looks like AuirForce is retreating just a bit. But still, pure Stalkers by Leia, not really what you want to be seeing up against your opponent that has Zealot, Stalker with Phoenix mixed in.
Yeah, but those Phoenixes that made all the difference
here. And
here.
they're still continuing to do this, lifting up units one at a time, just kind of picking away at his opposition. Blink is being used sparingly by Leia, but this is just a stalling action. He doesn't have any sort of other tech. He's just relying on his Blink Stalkers, and unless he does something miraculously, he's just going to be he's going to lose a war of attrition here.
Yep, especially, I mean, that pylon is destroyed in AuirForceOne's natural, so he could have thrown down an expansion. I really would have liked to see Leia kind of not commit quite so much and throw down an expansion behind that really good pressure, but sometimes an over committing can lose your games.
Yep, definitely. That was it for this replay. I mean, this is what happens when you play a PvP. Crazy shit. I mean, is there any other matchup where it's just this? I would even go far as to say awkward. Any other mirror matchup, anyway.
I think the other one's a little more linear.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got TVT, you got ZVZ. You know what's going on. But PvP, I mean, you could have had Dark Templar, you could have had Air, you could have had Ground, you could have had wow. Anyways, that's it for this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed. If not, leave comments down below on what you could do to make these more enjoyable for yourselves. If you have one of your own replays you'd like for us to cast, feel free to upload them to one of the major replay sites. Drop.sc is very, very popular. GG Tracker is getting up there as well. That is it for us. We are out of here.
Peace.